it is an extraordinary opportunity, you know, to put in real reforms, not just for the police department, as I said, not just for City Hall, but for the media. You know, it was troubling to me, all the way down to my soul, that the Laquan McDonald story was out there and mainstream media totally missed it. You know, it was like, if nothing else, 16 shots. Yeah. And I remember that day that I went online, and when the story came to me, I went online, I looked at it, I was like, how could we not report this? I went back and looked at the original story. It was no more than 2 paragraphs.
2 paragraphs, yeah.
That was it. That's all we wrote about a teenager being shot 16 times. And to find out then later on what his background was, that he was a ward of the state, all of those details, when they began to emerge, it really kind of affirmed the problem that we have in the city, and that's a class status problem. Because you know that a kid from Hyde Park who did something rowdy or got in trouble with the police would not be shot in the street 16 times and no one said anything about it. You know, so my hope is that through all this turmoil, that we do, all of us, learn something about ourselves and our institutions, and that we do a better job in bringing the stories.
I mean, we've done a lot of phenomenal reporting around, you know, not maybe Laquan McDonald, we were trying to play catch up, but there have been many other, you know, things. We had something this week about the clearance rate being very low. The police shootings, the newspaper put all its weight behind it and said, we're going to sue if we don't get, you know, complete records of every police shooting in Chicago. It's public information. And I would argue that where we're lacking is that because we're putting so many resources into investigative reporting, we don't have the bodies to do the day-to-day reporting, and that's really where you are connected with communities, and you get those, you know, where you hear from a mother or a, you know, a worker who is experiencing something, and you think, I wonder how many other people that's happened to. And so there's a lot of this like top-down investigative reporting, which I think is wonderful and there's a place for it, but I think where we're seeing more of our holes is in that day-to-day, you know.
Storytelling, you know, are we listening? I can remember many years ago, it had to be at least 15 years ago, I was covering a story out by Robert Taylor, OCHA Robert Taylor Holmes, and this guy ran up to me in desperation saying, you got to help me, you got to help me. They're trying to plant drugs on me. They're trying to plant drugs on me. And for me, I'm out there on the street, I'm thinking, they're not trying to plant drugs on this guy. Why is he making this up? I didn't even hear him.